Now this time I'm going to actually start by removing this idle needle, because in the previous video, the evaluation run, I mentioned that when I purchased this engine off of eBay, and I'll show an image here too, the image, or the picture, one of the pictures in the ad showed this low-speed needle was really recessed, and that was sort of a red flag to me. So after that evaluation run and the difficulty I was having after that run, and then yet another run in the garage trying to get this thing to idle properly, I thought I'd pull this thing out and see what the deal was with it. So here's what the deal is. Let's see if I can zoom way in here. See if my camera's going to be happy with this. So here's the needle. Let's see how much closer I can get. Here's a new one I purchased, and I haven't actually pulled it out of the package yet, but I think you'll be able to see that yeah, we've got quite a bit of a difference there between these two. Try and line this up a little bit better so you can see. I guess I could just take the one out of the package, but I wasn't really wanting to do that at this moment. Okay, so here we go. I think you can see there, about as good as I'm going to be able to get it, you can see how damaged that tip is of that idle, or the one on the right, and that's one of the reasons why it wasn't setting up properly for idle. Now notice this one is so early that I don't believe the carb was removed, but it could have been. Usually on later ones I've seen there's like a little metal washer that goes here that kind of fits flush up against this O-ring. This one did not have it. Now whether it was removed and lost or they just didn't implement that at this time is unknown, and there's really no way I'm going to be able to verify that anyway, but I just thought I'd make a note of that. Looks pristine to me. I really think this is a very, very low runtime engine. The only thing we're going to see that shows any evidence of runtime, I believe, is when I pull the valves out of the head. And honestly, I'm not even sure I'm going to do that. I just don't think it's going to need that. So here's one of the most critical parts of disassembling a Saito engine, is making sure you have the right size drive that fits perfectly in these guide pins, because one of these guide pins not coming out makes for a really, really bad day if they're over torqued and don't come out. So we got lucky that one. That one came out really easy. I don't think I'm going to have an issue with this one either, but we'll see when I find the slot here. Yeah. I have disassembled numerous Saito engines where these were a real bitch, and if you don't have the exact right size slotted screwdriver that really engages in that pin perfectly, you could have a lot of heartache, because that can preclude you from being able to, you know, take the valves out of the engine or the head if you need to. Here's our push rods. Okay, well, we're going to do something a little bit different here. Now see, it's difficult to pull out because there's so much compression there, so I'm going to relieve compression by pushing in on one of these valves, and it should pull right out. There we go. Oh, look at that. Here's the inside of the head. As suspected, it looks perfect in there. Now this was a little bit tight, which kind of sucks. I should have thought about taking this thing off first. So now what I'm going to do is pull these push rods off. Okay, there we go. Finally. Okay. I'll go ahead and remove that other screw here. Now this is what I intended to do the first time. Get this at top dead center and do that. You can see in here, yeah, this front bearing still feels kind of gnarly. But there's a little bit of residue in there. So yeah, it's definitely not a new engine by any means. So I think it's probably worthy of replacing the bearings. And since I've put this back in here, I think I'm just going to leave it. I don't see that there's a marking on this connecting rod as to forward or aft. Yeah, this could use a little bit of cleaning. Not too big of a deal though. And this gasket is perfect. Look at that. Hear that? It just doesn't sound right. So I think that's where I'm going to leave this for now because it's just too damn hot out here to continue this tonight. So I'm going to put a cover over all of these parts and we'll pick this up again.